Hey guys. Hey guys. So it is, y'all already know what time it is. And I'm back to talk to hairstylists who've already left the business. You either left already or you want to leave or you're thinking about leaving. Um, I'm here to help you guys see that there was still money left in your hair business that didn't require you to do any hair appointments. Now, if you knew that, then carry on. But if you didn't know and you have no clue exactly how that can even happen, I want you to join me in my new training that is going to help hairstylists see the invisible assets that we created. That and this is not every hairstylist. This is only seasoned hairstylists. If you seasoned, then that means that you created some assets that you probably walked away from, especially if you just left the industry without considering that maybe you needed a mindset shift. Like a lot of times, what's wrong with us is just the way that we think about things, and it's not really the issue at all. So I'm going to give people time to get gathered in here. And I want to ask, so I'm going to type my uh, link in the comments to join my webinar. The webinar is totally free for seasoned stylists. And if you are a beginner stylist, this is good information for you too. But the webinar is not free for you guys, okay? So if you are a seasoned stylist, I feel like you wanted to solidify your legacy, not just leave the hair industry when you got tired of doing hair, right? And it's so easy to actually do that. All you got to do is first do the shift, right? That all hairstylists have to do so they can get their money after they want to stop doing hair, right? And then you're going to assess your real value because something happened when you was doing hair. You got really good at some things, right? That when you started, you probably weren't as good as them, so we couldn't list them as valuable from you. But now you do have those valuable things, okay? Then all you got to do is a few steps to it, and we'll go into that because I'm only on here because I know y'all got to feel sick of, like, especially if you left and you went and applied for a job. A lot of my hairstylists, locticians are applying for jobs after the hair industry. And it's only because they didn't go through the shift. See, me, I was forced to go through the shift because I did not ask to go through the shift. I had to go through the shift because I was booked and busy. I had salon, all my time was gone. I was tired all the time. I was sleeping all the time. And then the craziest part that could happen is that I broke my ankle. Now, the cool thing about breaking my ankle, it hurt it like hell when it happened. But what I didn't know is that it was setting me up for this moment right here where I can help other stylish locticians to get your money from the hair industry. Even if you left already, there's still money there for you because of the shift, right? This shift, a lot of you guys don't even know about. But I know you got to be tired of commuting. Like, if you went to a job and you left from being in the hair industry where you could show up whenever you want to, make your own schedule, make your own prices, and then you went to a situation where you can't answer the phone, you have to do what they say, you can't just up and go to lunch, you can't decide, you know what, I don't feel like it today, let me reschedule everybody. So you want to, I know what you wanted them. By this time, you wanted to be like, I'm about to retire from this and my family is good. I'm good. That's what you wanted. But what you got was, this ain't working. These clients don't want to pay no more. My back is hurting. My fingers is cramped. And because of that, you probably walked away with nothing. However, I'm trying to help y'all get it back. So I'm going to put my link in this chat. And y'all know I'm always coming with the link. But this is always to help my fellow hairstylists. So the ones that I'm talking to right now, you're either wanting to leave the business or you already left. If you already left, then I definitely need you to get on this webinar. If you season the webinar, it's free because this thing that once I show y'all this, literally, you're never going to look at the hair business again like the same way, okay? Because the real issue is that a lot of us is legends. A lot of us are pioneers. And because we did not go through the shift, we literally walked away from a business that we took our whole lives, our whole adult lives creating. And I hate when I hear people say, oh, you want to get from behind the chair? It's like, no, we don't want to get from behind the chair. Who wants to get from behind the chair after you built 30 and 40 years worth of clientele and legacy and different things, right? Nobody wants to get behind a chair after doing something like that. Nobody, well, I ain't gonna say you want to get from behind a chair, but we definitely don't want to walk away from our legacy, okay? And a lot of us, that was our first business in our family that we opened up, okay? So no, we don't want to walk away from that. However, we get forced to walk away. A lot of people don't realize hairstylists are literally breaking bones. You know, oh my God, I broke mine. Few of my students broke theirs, all trying to keep up with a booked and busy clientele because we was taught to do more. That's how you make more. You got to do more. But that's job stuff. That's not self-employed stuff. We don't have to do more to make more. All we need is the shift because I know you got to be tired of going through what you've been going through ever since you left. So if you're ready to come back in, I want you to join that webinar right there in the link in the comments. No, I'm not going to do a fancy video. I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to come straight from the heart because this is a real serious issue that's going on in the industry. So if you are a seasoned stylist and you're tired of acting like you're not a seasoned stylist and you're tired of going or thinking about some other industry that you could go to because you're really tired of doing hair appointments, I want you to remember that the hair business is an industry and that cheer money and hair money is two different things. There's so many different ways to make money in the hair industry that a seasoned stylist really doesn't have to go anywhere else. And if you join my training, I'm going to show you exactly what to do to 10 times your hair income immediately. There is a shift that happens when you become seasoned. You do hair like at least 7 years, then the shift already happened with you. You probably just didn't realize it because you were in a certain mindset. Okay. And one thing we got to do to solidify our legacies, retire, or to pass anything down to our family that came out of our hair business, the first thing you're going to have to do is get a business owner mindset, right? So many stylists are walking away from the business with an employee mindset, and you will know if this is you. You know why? Because then you went and got a job. After you just had your own business, everything like that, you went and got a job. So I want to help you guys back over here because that, first of all, I know that you started your hair business just so you don't have to work for anybody. That's how most of us started our hair business because we had this skill and we saw that the way things were going, we just wasn't going to be able to stand for that. So I'm like this. I know that, especially the ones who are trained, you know what I'm saying? We get so busy. And I didn't even notice that everybody was breaking bones, okay? All right. I didn't even know this. I thought it was just me. But once I started talking to friends of mine who in the same exact position, they all have broken wrist or their hand. And I broke my ankle more than once trying to be booked and busy. However, I went through the shift, and that's why I'm still in the industry and still helping and still doing what I want to do in the industry. I can't even imagine going somewhere else because it's so good. So if you are Tired of going there because I know they got you commuting. You probably up early. You might have left already. However, I know that you are sick of doing it from day one. It's too much of a change. If you want your legacy solidified, all you got to do is join my Hair Legacy webinar, okay? Because I know you are tired of feeling stuck, and going to a job has to feel like going backwards, right? Because you want to feel like I was a boss my whole life. Now I'm good. My family is good. You wanted to be able to pass this down to your family, but what you got was, I quit and now it's over. But that's only a mindset. And so the shift that needs to happen, I'm going to be talking about it on my Hair Legacy webinar. So go over there and register for the webinar. Like I said, I would do these videos with a background. I would make them look cute, but I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because this is too important for me to wait for the edit. And I really wish that I would have said this in the past, because when I was experiencing my shift, I know a lot of stylists who were also feeling like they didn't want to do hair no more. And it's like literally everybody act like that's the worst thing in the world to admit. And at first I thought it was that, like, y'all can't want the same thing that you wanted at 20 when you 50. Like, that's just crazy if you do. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, you might want the same business, but you don't want it to be acting the same way. For one, because when you're 20, you could stand a lot longer than when you're 50. Okay. And that's just for anybody. And if you still want to stand at 50, then this is not for you. If you still want to play around with this and do part-time a little bit, this not for you. This is for people that definitely want to solidify that legacy that they already built without doing more hair appointments. I'm pretty sure that's what y'all wanted. However, you probably think that that's not even possible. So you did leave the business empty-handed and you did go and start at a job because you got bills to pay. I understand. However, the level that you really at in the hair industry, if you go through the shift, is you can literally make that check in half of a client, a fifth of a client, okay? Because when you get seasoned, there are choices that we have. The industry rewards our choices when we stay in it. However, you got to have a shift so you understand what to do now, okay? So I know y'all got to be tired of scheduling. I know you got to be tired of getting up early. You got to be, because I was tired of it, okay? And I totally get upset when somebody asks me to do their hair now, okay? I already said I'm retired. I said I'm not going to do it. And there's nothing in me that's trying to make me go back to the life I had when I was 20 years old, okay? When I was 20, I was booked and busy. Now, I'm definitely not 20 anymore. And so I'm not interested in being booked and busy, okay? The other thing is there's a trap. There's so many hairstylists out here breaking bones and doing all of that stuff, but they still doing hair. You still doing hair. I know a few right now. They took time off because they got hurt, and then when they came back, they went right to the same exact position, trying to get booked and busy, trying to raise prices, trying to do that when you don't have to do any of that, especially once you become seasoned. So if you are a hairstylist that been doing this at least 7 years, I'm gonna say 7 years, because I know that the shift, if you've been doing it longer than 7 years, then the shift happened and your mindset probably didn't allow you to see it, right? And so let's talk about what you probably thinking if you didn't get the shift. You probably thinking that all these new trends, you sick of them. And that's all the clients want is the new trends. That's number one that you probably thinking. Number two that you probably thinking is that when you get done doing hair, that nothing's going to pay you like your hair career, right? And so you ready to accept less. You're ready to accept less because you think that you have to settle, right? it means that you did not do the shift yet. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to explain this shift on my Hair Legacy webinar, okay? And that is happening on Saturdays. I'm going to be up here tomorrow letting y'all know some other stuff that we're going to be doing on the webinar. But if you are a seasoned loctician, seasoned stylist, seasoned barber, who is definitely looking for a change and you thinking about walking away from the hair industry, I definitely want to tap you on your shoulder and say, you definitely, like, have y'all ever seen that there's a meme where there's a guy, it's two guys digging in a tunnel, right? And you can see the diamonds and the treasure, right? One of them is still going, still digging, and the other one has turned away. And they are both literally 1 inch away from this treasure, right? I definitely don't want that to be you who just walked away when you was one step away from the goal that we really wanted, which was to be able to retire ourselves and to be able to pass this down to our family. You is one literally, well, let me rephrase that. Some of us is 2 chapters away, but most of the seasoned stylists, especially if you own the shop, if you ever owned a shop, you definitely only 1 chapter away from being able to have your hair money work for you for the rest of your life, whether you work or not. Okay. And that was the dream. That was the goal that we had, was that our hair money was going to work for us even when we did not get no chair money. Okay. Because I know y'all got to be tired, especially commuting. That was like, oh my God. One of my friends is trying to tell me that she enjoys her new job. She's getting tired of the hair clients, but she enjoys her new job. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You just didn't have the shift yet, because if you would have had the shift, you wouldn't even need that job. The hair industry, clients that you sick of, they don't even got nothing to do with the shift. They literally don't even exist in the shift. They don't exist in the shift, okay? So I want y'all to know this. If you got tired of the clients and you decided to leave, if you got tired of being in demand so much and you decided to leave, okay? If you got tired of the clients who didn't value you, or if you got tired of even just charging low, because a lot of stylists have struggled with this our whole career, can't charge enough, right? Self-sabotage or whatever it is, whatever the reason, it's not even your fault, because literally the industry only taught us, you know what the industry of hair teaches us? It teaches us to work for companies. You think that you your own business. It's sort of like being in a multi-level marketing company where you are advertising somebody else's product, somebody else's system, somebody else's technique, and you distribute that out to the masses. And these companies, literally, they don't pay us anything. And so the issue is that as hairstylists, everybody's preying on us. Okay, I want you to get this. As a hairstylist, you are the most valuable payer in the hair industry. You're the one who want to go to school for $20,000, right? So all that money that you spent, all that time that you spent, I want you to know we could definitely have that paid off, even if you never do another hair appointment ever again. Okay. Now, if you already left the business and you went for a job, I feel for you. However, that's why the webinar is free for retired hairstylists, because I want you to see this. Okay. I want you to see this, and I don't even want to get paid to show you. I want to just show you for free and have you look at this and pick out all of the stuff that you wanted from your hair business, but you had to put it down when you walked away. Okay. If you walked away from the hair business and you were seasoned, I want you to know that there's a shift that you needed to go through that is so easy. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. That retires us with our money. Okay. But you got to change to the shift. If you go through the shift, let me tell you how what's going to start happening, right? You're going to start having days where you make more than you ever made doing hair in a year. You're going to have that in one day once you hit the shift. What else you going to have when you hit the shift? You're going to have days where you don't have to work ever for weeks and months at a time, right? What's else going to happen when you hit the shift? You're going to have literally money coming to you that you did not work for now. You worked for it years ago. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, go right here to myhairlegacy.com and sign up for my free training. And I want y'all to notice the training is free, but it's valuable, okay? So this is not a free, worthless training. This is a free training to help stylists who are leaving the business. And I want to do this because I really feel for us, because I was hit with this same decision that the hairstyling business that I grew, I can't take it with me. Okay. Once I came to that realization, it wasn't because I just felt like it. It was because I got injured more than once trying to live up to the fake image of being booked and busy. Like a lot of people pretend that that's the goal. But I realize that's level 2. And then you got level 3, which is where you 10 times your income or more. Like literally my first week at level 3, I made $12,000 in just 5 days. I've never done that when I was in hairstylist mode. So I'm gonna be showing y'all how I did that in my Hair Legacy uh, webinar. Okay, so if that's something that you are interested in, I would love for y'all to ask me a question in the chat, because this is literally just a mindset shift. Like you ever saw something, or let me tell y'all, like this is how this is, right? I done watched The Lion King a million times. And then one day it dawned on me what The Lion King is really about. And this when I started seeing it for what it was supposed to show me, right? The same thing is going to happen with your hair career once you get on this hair legacy training, okay? So if you are a stylist who left, if you're a stylist who got burnt out, if you're a stylist who, the industry wasn't really nice to you, but you stayed, I want you to know that there's a reward at the end. There's literally a pot of gold at the end of our rainbow. The only issue is most people don't see it because they never was taught to see it, right? Most people don't see it because we already burned out. So our vision and creative energy is gone. And that was still your vision of your legendary business. Because when you first started this, you had a legendary vision for this business. It was not, I'm about to just do hair till I die. It wasn't that. And I know it wasn't that. And I could be the type of stylist who just doesn't even share, sorry about that, doesn't even share this with other stylists, but I never been her. I never been the gatekeeper ever. I'll get in my kitchen and help y'all do this however I had to do it. But if you left already, now don't get me wrong, you might not have left already. You might have said, I'm ready to go. If you're ready to go, I want you to get on the webinar. If you left already, your money is sitting on this webinar. So if you one of the pioneers like me, I'm a pioneer in here. There's no way that I could walk away. Even if I tried to, there are so many people that I blessed and I touched and I helped them be successful that I can't walk away. Okay? I can't. Then there's the identity shift. Like when we hear stylists, we're so used to being the go-to person. We're used to being the one that everybody counts on. We're used to being the one who has all the answers. We're used to being the one who could get the money the fastest. We're used to all of that. And then something happens where you have to go back to being like everybody else. And we're not ready for that. We ain't ready for that. We ain't ready for that. And that's the thing. You never have to get ready for that. You never have to accept that the industry got too big for you, because it literally made space. You just didn't see it because you was burned out. You was probably drained. You was probably a lot like me when it was time to go. I couldn't show up no more. Like I had a time where I couldn't show up at all, right? And it was so heartbreaking inside to me. Like if y'all look on my Instagram, you could see a post where I'm crying in the middle of the night, and I didn't even know what the hell was wrong with me at this time. I didn't even realize like what was the problem. You know what I'm saying? I just was feeling super sad. I was feeling very sad. And I was talking to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told me that I was mourning the death of Yanni Red. And I'm like, mourning the death of me? but it's not me. That's the thing, is Yanni Red is an identity that I possess that did magical hair, right? So once I get to the point where I done broke my ankle 2 times, okay, trying to be this booked and busy magical hairstylist. I broke my ankle 2 times. There's so many stylists out here that's getting hurt trying to be booked and busy. There's so many stylists out here that's getting hurt trying to be booked and busy, okay? That's why I want y'all to join my webinar about hair legacy. It's 4 levels in the hair industry. So many of us literally go from learning how to do hair to being booked and busy, and then we stay in that until we die or we leave the industry. However, there's some money that you left sitting on the table when you left out the industry, okay? And ain't no other hairstylist gonna show you how to get it. I've been looking. I seen one other hairstylist. She's showing you what she did, but I don't even need to show y'all what I did because everybody's story is different. So if you a hairstylist who thinking about leaving the business, you want to go out, you tired of doing hair, you could admit it now, because I'm gonna tell y'all some good stuff. I know people that is lying right now. They is lying. Hey, Dimitri, sir. Hey, Angie, if you still on here. Hey, so what I'm doing now, y'all know, I used to come on here and I would help people get booked and busy as a loctician, right? So now what I'm doing is showing y'all how to unbusy yourself, okay? Because when you got booked and busy, like literally there was a shift. Now, don't get me wrong, this shift actually happens in all service businesses. We're all service providers. We all go through that stage where we excited about what we doing, what we learning, who we helping, and all the new stuff and all of this stuff. And then you do that for 20 years, right? Do that shit for 20 years. And I want to see you come back with the same enthusiasm. You definitely not going to come back with the same enthusiasm. But here's the thing. You don't even have to, because it's already something else that happened that you didn't even realize that you can get excited about. Okay. Now, I've been on here now, like literally, I'm inviting people to my webinar. It's a free webinar at myhairlegacy.com. Y'all can go on there and sign up. The webinar is not going to stay free. Okay, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm only letting like probably my first 50 people in. And the thing is other stylists trying to get in this webinar, but I'm going to favor the seasoned stylists, and I'm also going to favor the ones who already walked away from the business, because I already know what you wanted. You did not want to work for nobody else. So the audacity of the industry to make us, yes, the audacity of these industries to make us feel like we had to continue that or walk away from our money. Like, and one thing I learned about the hair business is that it's so many people that think they business owners. Like, you be feeling like, I got the key, I got employees, this my business. And I was feeling like that too. And then my ankle broke, and they showed me that if you leave, all this is gone, all of this. And it happened in a flash. Like, I literally did hair all day that day, and then I got home. I'm regular walking up the stairs, and my ankle just twisted. I heard a pop. I fell down, and that was it. My whole shop and everything, literally like 1 week later, was closed down. It wasn't working, and I had did hair for 10 years at that point. You see what I'm saying? So once I realized how vulnerable I was in the industry or in the thought paths that I had without the shift, I don't know. It was like that week when I was forced to sit down, because at first when I broke it, I could not even stand. I couldn't do nothing. It was hurting too bad. And so I was forced to sit down. I feel like God forced me to sit down. And then I thought I was in this by myself. Now, this is what I found, is that it's so many stylists who are in this position, so many service providers, because they give us that dream, go to school and work hard, right? However, there's a shift that happens when you become like the people that told you that, right? They own companies. They not working. They got you working. There's a shift that happens in your seasoned ability, like literally. And it's so crazy because this only comes from God and not man. And I think that that's the reason why most people can't really see it. because this shift is not a man-made shift. It's not from the narrative that they told us. They told us if we work hard, we're going to be successful. The issue with that is that at some time in this, you don't want to work at all. That's the issue, is that, sorry, but that's the issue, is that we really don't want to work at all after a while. And I want more stylists to admit that. As you done broke your ankle, broke your hand, broke your wrist, you can literally admit that you sick of doing hair, you tired of the clients, you tired of being up all Saturday, you tired of working long ass days, you tired of the raggedy relationships that came from you not being available for anybody else but your clients. You tired of all of that stuff, okay? And I'll tell y'all what I'm tired of. My shoulder hurting, my fingers cramping, even though I still don't do hair right now. I still have cramps in my back and my fingers, cramps in my hands, and my ankle still hurt because I broke it 2 times. Plus my shoulder, I just had, my dog just threw my arm out the socket like 2 weeks ago. And I had to go to the doctor, and literally the wear and tear that I put on my body from doing hair, it's like it's catching up with me, even though I already stopped. So I want to reach out to more stylists because I just didn't know that we was going through this much just to be business owners, and literally only to get to the end. Something that can help you earn passively, that can be sold if you're not around. Yes. And you know, the cool thing about it is every service industry has that. Like, you got to get seasoned first. Okay. So literally, Shahab, if you want to do that, even though I'm going to be talking about the hair industry, you could join my Hair Legacy webinar. And I'm going to be talking about the shift that a stylist needs to make. Or, like I said, if you're not a stylist, it's a shift that you need to make that will take you to financial freedom after you got seasoned. That's something, okay? So understand, on the note, we paying our dues. We don't even know. Good morning, YouTube. So I'm on live from YouTube and Instagram right now. And I'm coming here to pour my heart out to stylists who have left the industry, because I want y'all to understand, if you paid your dues, then it's going to pay you back. But you got to go through this little shift that I'm going to show y'all on my webinar. Now, the webinar literally is at 6 a.m. in the morning. And you might be like, I ain't going to be up at 6. That means that you don't care enough then. That means you want to go back to work when you get rid of your desire to do hair, okay? So I'm not changing the time. It shows me who's really dedicated. When you could get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, just like I did today, to get up here and address you guys, it's for an important thing, okay? Now, literally, if you're getting dressed right now to go to a job after you just built a hair business, if you are tired of working after you just built a hair business, right? If you nursing wounds after you just built a hair business, there's no reason to sit there without your money. Nope, there's no reason to sit there without your money. Only reason why you would be there without your money is because you never went through the shift. And it's not your fault if you didn't go through, because once you get burned out, you don't think creative no more. Your imagination be gone. And that's what this is going to take. However, you got me. I'm going to show y'all exactly how to bring it back, exactly how to do what I did, exactly why I'm going to get paid forever in the hair industry. I'm going to get paid forever. I built something that my kids can literally use to make money forever. Okay? I built something that is allowing me to retire forever. Okay? However, guess what won't retire? My money that I created, the money that I built, the legacy that I built. Like, a lot of us, we want to play extremely small because we never taught this part right here. But I want y'all to know, if you're a hairstylist, it's 4 levels, okay? The first level is going to be training. So you might have went to school, you might have went to hair school, or you might have worked at a shop training under somebody. But the point is, we had to pay our dues. Like, I know when I first started doing hair, it was so hard. I'm more interested about your story so that I get real life proof that I can do it. Would you be open to tell us your story? on the webinar. Well, yes, I'm gonna talk about my story on the webinar, only because you're gonna see yourself in this story. If you was grinding hard and you was trying to make something, because like when I first started, my intention was to open a lock franchise. I was trying to open the first lock franchise. And I had stole my idea from McDonald's. Like, y'all got the Big Mac and it got all these different parts to it. I got these lock styles and they got different techniques to them. So I kind of used that premise, and I was able to create something first that felt like a business. It really did feel like a business because I had employees and it was popular. Y'all could look right at my YouTube channel and y'all could go back to like 2011 on YouTube and see when I was doing this. Literally, I was in the shop, I was training people, and that's when I first well, it's not even when I first had the shift, because I had the shift before social media. This the cool thing is that means that even if you not good at social media, you could still accomplish this, because social media literally was just coming out. Like, I did hair magazines in 2007 and social media wasn't even fully out then. I finally got on YouTube, I think back in 2011. And so I was still in hairstylist mode. That's what I'm going to call it. I wasn't in CEO mode. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to call it CEO mode today. I'm going to call it legendary, visionary mode today. I was not in that. I was straight up in hairstyling. And this is how you would know if you is in hairstylist mode when you should be in CEO mode, right? Because I'm gonna tell y'all some mistakes that I made. Okay. I literally used to build the shop up with my process. And then when I got overwhelmed, instead of me hiring a manager, you know what I would do? I would shut the shop down and go back and work at another shop for a little while. Then I get sick of that, and then I would come back and open up another shop and get it started again. It get overwhelming, I shut it down, right? Now, at first I was thinking, darn, I'm failing, right? However, the shift that was going on, the shift that happened, it made me realize that you are thinking like a hairstylist too much. You're not even thinking like a salon owner, because you shutting stuff down when you literally could just get a manager, right? Now, once I was able to sit down, and I'm not talking about because I had a break, I'm talking about because I broke my ankle, right? I broke a bone. I had to sit down. The crazy thing, y'all don't even know, before, when I first broke my ankle, right? I had worked all day. I came home and walking up the stairs. I fell back down the stairs, broke my ankle, right? This is the craziest thing. Do you know that before I decided I was going to stop doing hair, I thought I was going to be able to sit and do hair. Stopping doing hair was not in my mind. Even after my ankle broke, I was trying to go back to work the next day. And it's like started making me realize this is more like an addiction than a business. You know what I'm saying? Because why can't I sit down? Like, literally, why do I feel bad about sitting down? And then there was the next part. But I'm not going to tell y'all all of it. You got to join the webinar, and it's free. The only price you got to pay for the webinar is that you got to be up on it at 6 a.m. Eastern time. If you get up there at 6 a.m. Eastern, I promise you will feel rewarded, because if you've done anything as long as I have, I literally been a hairstylist since I was 19, probably since I was 16, right? I'm 48 right now, and so many hairstylists have come and go in the business since I started, and most of them have walked away with absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's free. It's free for the webinar, and I'm also going to give you a framework that is going to, because the reason why it's only free, because I want people to share their experience. I want to do it for free first, just to get people, because you might not have the money, right? You might not have the money if you walked away from your thing that you are. Like, literally, if you a hairstylist and that's all you know, and you walked away, you ain't got no money. Because don't nothing pay like this, right? Nothing pays like what we are used to doing. Nothing going to pay like your legacy. However, you don't have to walk away just because you're not a hairstylist or that thing anymore. There's other roles that must be taken on in order for you to get what you started out for. Okay? So that's what I'm gonna be sharing on the webinar. I would love for y'all to join me. That's at myhairlegacy.com. Once you sign up, you're gonna get your reminders. It's going and I might, you know what? If y'all come from this right here and go over there and sign up, then I got something for y'all. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet because I really want y'all to sign up, not for this, but this thing it helped me do, oh my God. Like literally, I'm gonna show y'all the framework that I used to get my first, like, and it wasn't even, it was literally $12,000 in the first 5 days just for me doing the shift. Like it's a whole different routine. But you don't gotta learn, like, and then the killer is that you already know this stuff and you know how to do it, but you probably just aggravated. Let me see. My Hair Legacy is Legacy. I know how it is when you typing fast too. It's like you got to switch out the, let me see, the My Hair Legacy. And I think they got it where you could actually just put this link on here. Okay, send. Here we go. All right, y'all. So that's my spiel for today. I'm going to be back at 6 o'clock tomorrow. And I think I'm going to share a secret one, matter of fact, because I'm going over some secrets that is in the industry that if you walked away from your business, you definitely need to get on my webinar. Okay. If you walked away from the industry empty handed and you call yourself retired, but you had to go get another job, I want you to stop the nonsense. And let me see, I need you to do a basket with my locks. Ha ha ha. I need you to send me somebody that I can show how to do a basket with your locks because I don't do hair anymore. Literally, baby. I need y'all to understand this. Like it's levels to this shit. And when I was 20, you could have said that to me. When I was 28, you could have said that to me. When I was 35, you probably could have said that to me and I would have been like, ah. Now, I ain't saying I don't want you to get the basket weave because I do. I just don't want to do it. So I literally got videos with the basket weave on it. You could take it right to your loctician that you already go to because I know I ain't never did your hair. So, you know, I taught Toya. Which Toya? Which Toya from where? Because I taught like 6 Toyas that I took under my wing. Which Toya was it? And if I taught her, then she literally can just tap back in and get the training on that. She could, that's a link at the end of the day. She could, yeah, so tell her to hit me up if she don't know how to do. Oh, Shatoya from Georgia. Probably. I don't remember who that is exactly. Some of the ones who took my class, we kept in touch and became friends, and some people just kind of took it one time, which would be why she don't know how to do the basket weave. Have a moment to tell me about the legacy. Would you guide us to build our legacy rather than we working all day long? Well, yeah, the thing is, the legacy is look at this. Somebody on YouTube talking about do my hair. Y'all so cute. And I know I'm the GOAT at this on locks, on some real stuff. But that's the reason why I taught so many people, because imagine being the GOAT of something and you're the only one who know how to do these styles. Now, that's how I used to be in the beginning before I had the shift. So somebody's asking me, do I have a moment to tell them about the legacy part? Well, this is the cool thing about the legacy is that you already built it. And that's why I'm talking to seasoned stylists or either retired stylists, or even if you're in an industry and you don't know that, you already built a legacy. I don't have to help anybody build it. All I'm going to do is show you that now that you have a legacy, you need these things right here. You need this right here because that's going to make this happen and that's going to make this happen. That's really kind of how it is. So I'm not necessarily creating a legacy for anybody. I'm looking for the people that already created their legacy, but they didn't go through this little, such a small little shift. So yes, and I'm gonna tell y'all about my legacy then. Okay. Now, like I said, when I first started doing hair, I was not thinking. The only thing I knew is that I did not want to work for nobody. Okay. Because I started doing hair when I was like 13. I started making money. And then I had a daughter when I was like 15. And they had the the program for you. You have a kid at an early age. They want to send you straight into fast food working. And I had already started doing hair, so that wasn't going to sit well with me. But I did it. I did it for like 2 weeks and then I got fired. And I can tell you, I've never, ever applied for another job ever. That ain't even in my thought process to do is apply for a freaking job. I always can. And like I said, that's the shift. There's going to be a point where you don't want a job, but most people ain't going to, they're not going to go with that. And the reason why I know is because it's going to be too many people telling you to throw in the towel. It's going to be too many workers telling you to think like them. Oh, I'm good, this, and that. No, okay? So I'm going to be talking about how I became what I am, who I am. I'm going to be talking about how I make money in the industry without having to do hair. And no, it's not by teaching classes, because that's what I used to do. A lot of people are like, oh, she just started teaching classes. Yo, I don't need to get on a webinar to know I need to teach classes. Well, that's not what I'm going to be talking about on the webinar. I'm going to be talking about, because the thing about it is this, that's level 3. Once you start teaching classes, that's level 3, right? That's level 3. It's a step up from being booked and busy, but you like a pioneer now. You starting to share your information, but that's only level 3. And I'm telling you, it's a 4th level where you don't have to do anything. It's just literally like the shift is so small. When y'all see this, y'all probably gonna want to get off the webinar early because you're gonna see it just from me telling you my story and what I changed. You're gonna see the shift. So get on the webinar at myhairlegacy.com. And I'm going to tell y'all some good shit because my webinar is so valuable and the information I'm giving is so valuable. If I have a hard time giving it for free, if I have a hard time signing y'all up for free because y'all think, oh, it's free, oh, well, and y'all act like it's not valuable, I'll be up here so fast with that webinar costing $97. You see, last time I did it for $97, I did not have a hard time signing nobody up. So I get it. It's that when stuff be free, a lot of times it be the wrong people trying to join. Y'all all on my video asking me to do y'all hair when I'm clearly saying that it's another level where I made 5 days, $12,000. That was just the first 5 days that I started operating my business in the shift, right? I didn't do no hair. Then what tops it off is my hair clients start calling me and they just want to pay $100, $200. But in the shift, I'm over here doing thousands of dollars in a day. And that was just the first 5 days. So I'm not interested in doing none of y'all hair because I went through the shift, okay? If y'all got some stylists y'all want me to train or show something, send them to me. But if you're looking to get your hair done, this is not the live for you. This is not it. Okay, I just want y'all to know that. So, like I said, I'm gonna recap this. If you are a seasoned stylist, this is not for stylists who came in the business, seen they didn't want to do it, and then left without building a clientele. If you was a seasoned stylist and you, yes, okay, awesome. Now, if you was, okay, I got one person who booked on the webinar. Y'all know what? I got to change my notifications so that I can see when somebody signs up because I don't even know. More people might have signed up. But once you get on the webinar, guys, I'm definitely going to give you everything that it takes to do the shift. Because it's it's so darn simple that if you looking for, like if you, and not only that, we was taught to work hard to be successful. I really believe that this is why most people don't see the shift because you don't work hard no more. It's like it was a freaking miracle. Imagine me working hard to make even just $1,000 a day, and then I started operating my business in this other form, and I'm at 12,000 in 5 days. Now, cool enough. That was the first 5 days of it, but what followed after that is another $5,000 in another 7 days. Another 2 days later, I got another $5,000. Another 2 days later, I got $3,500, and it just kept on going. So I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I definitely got to share this with my people. And I feel it heavy on my heart to share it because I know that I'm the reason why a lot of these stylists got booked and busy, because I showed y'all that early on YouTube. And then I taught y'all how to do my techniques that everybody needed. And they still need it now. However, this is a bigger cause. Okay. So if you are seasoned and you feel trapped in, I got to go back to work, or you feel trapped in, I don't know what's next. You feel defeated because you just did a whole run. You built a whole legacy. You built a whole identity around being successful. Nobody wants to give that up at the end. So, guys, like I said, if this is you, if this resonated with you, I want you to join me on hairlegacy.com. And the webinar, the next one is going to be on March the 21st. You don't want to miss it, because at any given time, I might just decide I'm not even going to share this no more because y'all don't want it. Literally, I don't know. You might want to work hard. You might want to go and work at a job. You might want that. So if you want that, this is not for you. But if you already seasoned and that's the whole point too, is some hairstylists, they ain't built no legacy. So it's not for y'all. If you did hair for a long time and you only followed trends and all this other crap, trying to keep up with everybody, then do not get on my freaking webinar, because you don't have nothing to leave for your legacy. You didn't do anything. You operated in other people's legacies, right? So if you never done your own product line, even if it failed, it doesn't matter. That's the whole point, is that the shift is going to make all of your failures turn into a big ass success. And that's what we need right now. We need that. After COVID and shook our business up. Like literally, COVID destroyed the hair business for the professional. And I know that. I saw it happen, right? It totally destroyed the hair business, right? And COVID was only, 6 years ago now? And I want you, like, if y'all know about the Great Depression, that shit lasted 10 years after it started. So we definitely still going through the effects of being shut down. Like a lot of people left the job that they was doing before COVID, and it happened so fast. Now you're in a whole nother industry. If you a hairstylist and you left, yeah, I don't play around. That's one thing they know about me. If you did take any of my classes, I'm going to make sure you learn this. I'm going to let you know how important it is. And it's because I'm showing y'all how to do what I had to do to get to the next point. And I have mentored a lot of stylists. And I mean, as a mentor, I can hear when you start lying about how you still love the industry, you love doing hair, you love this. Like nobody wants to be a prisoner. Like I literally became a prisoner in my own business, in my own shop. I became a prisoner in there because I started realizing you've been in here every Saturday from sun up to sundown. Some of them days I was at work before the sun even came up, and I left out after the sun went down. So I literally have given my days, my times. My kids grew up thinking, mommy, just call mommy if you need some money, because she's not going to be able to come because of the shop. I literally destroyed relationships of people that I value because I couldn't be there for them when I was still in hairstylist mode. Like it's going to be a time when hairstylist mode, the mode is going to break. And when that happens, not if, because it's definitely going to happen, when it happens, I want to make sure that you saw my webinar so that you had a choice and you didn't have to do the thing that you never wanted to do, which is go work for somebody else. I love you guys. I'm signing off of YouTube because that is my spiel on here. Again, if y'all want to join me on this webinar, literally you can't afford not to, because where else is somebody going to show you how to make money from stuff you've been did? You see that? I'm not trying to teach y'all nothing new. I'm not trying to sell you a course, right? A lot of people, they want to sell you what they was doing 10 years ago, literally, right? Even though I was doing it 10 years ago, I'm going to sell it to y'all. I'm going to show it to y'all. I'm going to share it with you because I don't need the money. You get what I'm saying? That's why the webinar is free. I just want as many hairstylists as possible. The other thing, and the main reason why I'm going to do this, is because as a pioneer, I done seen the industry deteriorate. Especially, I do locks. If y'all know, then you know. But it's so many people that don't know what they're doing with locks at all. And the seasoned stylists who have the foundation that used to be healthy, they literally just quit because they can't keep up with the trends. However, nobody told you to try to. But because you didn't go through the shift, that's why you thought you had to. So I'm going to be showing y'all what to do instead right on my hairlegacy.com on the webinar 6 a.m. There will be no replays. So if it's not important enough for you to get up in the morning and get on here, then go ahead and keep on working for somebody else. Keep on not having your money. Keep on doing the shit. and we won't care, okay? Because at the end of the day, the way you going to work till you die unless you get your ass on that webinar. So this is very important. That's why I'm keeping it at 6 a.m. And I will see you guys. YouTube, I'm ending right now. Thank you for watching. Go to myhairlegacy.com.